Hi and welcome back to Classic MGB. Now today we're back at Unit 70 just outside Abingdon. It's a place we've been before and this is for an MGB technical workshop. And there's two things going on today. We've got Graeme Dicks looking at servicing an MGB, and then we've got Mike Barkley talking about headlight relays. So let's get into it. There's a lot of MGB Register people here, so looks like it's going to be a good day. The day started with a general welcome from Graeme and Mike, outlining the timetable for the day, and soon moved on to Graeme's detailed chat on that hotly debated topic, which oil to use. The general consensus was that pretty much any quality 20W50 oil was okay for the MGB, provided it had a high zinc content, with Castrol XL 20W50 being popular amongst those present. Discussion continued on oil filters, both the bowl type with a replaceable paper filter, as well as the more common disposable canister type found on later cars. The necessity of checking oil cooler pipes was discussed in detail and included a tip on how to bypass the oil cooler in the event of one of the pipes leaking. Needless to say, one or two people had experienced a fractured oil pipe and it wasn't to be recommended. Coolant and radiators were discussed in detail, with topics including draining and refilling the system, waterless coolants, and the best antifreeze to use. Several people had found modern waterless coolant to be pretty ineffective, with blue glycol-based antifreezes being favoured by most. The importance of checking hoses for wear was emphasised as well, with stories being swapped of split pipes and regular stops on a journey home to beg, borrow or steal watering cans full of water to replenish the radiator. Ignition systems were covered in some detail, especially the need to regularly change the points, although the majority of attendees actually had various electronic ignition systems installed. The pluses and minuses of each system were discussed, and the general consensus seemed to be if electronic ignition is working well, just leave it alone. Then the attendees were split into groups of 4 or 5 people to work on individual parts of the car. The objective was to carry out a general inspection and report back on findings. The group looking at the front wheels and suspension learned how to check for wear on brake discs and pads, as well as checking for excessive play in wheel bearings and suspension components. Greasing the kingpins and other grease points like the prop shaft and handbrake cable was also demonstrated. The groups on the rear wheels were shown how to back off the rear brake adjusters and remove the drums to check for wear in the brake shoes, as well as any brake fluid leakage. As importantly, they were also shown how to replace the drums and adjust the rear brakes properly. The group in the engine bay was tasked with checking and adjusting the tappets using the rule of 9. This proved useful as many MGB owners tend not to carry this out themselves, preferring to leave the job to a professional. The workshop identified that, provided it was approached with care, it was a relatively simple task for the home mechanic. After the lunch break, Mike Barkley took over and went through some basic electrical theory to explain why fitting relays to your main and dipped headlights was a good idea. This centred around reducing the current flowing through the old wiring to extend its life while also minimising the voltage drop that occurs, thereby with luck increasing the brightness of the lights. Mike mentioned that a kit was available, and we've actually done a video of how to fit one of these kits. There's a link in the description if you'd like to see that. However, the kit costs around £40, whilst the components can be bought for less than £20, although it does involve a bit more work preparing the cables by installing the appropriate connectors. These are actually crimp connectors, but Mike's recommendation is to solder joints to ensure a good, reliable connection. He actually told the story of how most of the crimp connectors simply fell off when he was installing a new pre-built wiring loom in a Jaguar E-Type. Mike actually had an MGB wiring loom on the bench, so it was really easy to see which connection went where, and the comprehensive PowerPoint presentation, a copy of which was supplied to everyone to take home, made the wiring up of the relays seem very simple. He did recommend that the relays should be installed in sockets, making replacement simple should one fail, and this seems good advice as the commercial kit also includes relay sockets. Finally, Mike showed how he had installed the relays in his beautiful MGB Roadster. The car is immaculate and very original, so not surprisingly he's extremely particular about not drilling any holes in it. His solution was to make up a bracket that allowed the relays to be installed using the bolts that hold the horn in place on the offside inner front wing. This proved to be a neat installation, although a little fiddly when trying to demonstrate it to the group. The relaxed nature of the day really helped, with questions being asked along the way, and nobody made to feel stupid by asking a basic question. It's great to see members of the MGB Register so willing to share their skills with other members with less experience, ultimately giving them confidence to perhaps try their hand at some of the maintenance tasks on their car. Well, I'm with one of the leaders today, Graeme Dicks. Graeme, tell me about today.
Well, I think we've had a really friendly day. I'd like to think that everybody's gone away with a little bit more knowledge than they came with.
Yeah.
There was a complete mixed bag of people's knowledge base.
Yes.
Ranging from people who've only just bought an MGB to people who clearly know their way around an MGB. And we tried to facilitate that out of them to get all the right answers. And I think we did quite well with that.
Yeah.
With the practicals went quite well with the car, and everybody's had an opportunity to at least get their hands dirty and to have a look under the bonnet, and importantly as well, to have a good look underneath, which you can't do so easily at home. So
no, that's right. I mean, it's a great opportunity to have a proper ramp, and it's thanks to Dan, isn't it? At Unit 70 for letting us use the place.
Well, Unit 70 have been absolutely amazing. They've supplied the cakes, the coffee, the venue. These guys are, they do really good work, and I would really recommend them to anybody. I've personally been coming to this garage for 40 years.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
And they've always looked after me. They always give a very fair price.
Yeah.
And always do excellent work. So highly recommended. And thanks to them.
And then you're talking as an expert. You know your way around the bee, as you've proved today.
They certainly know their way around the MGB. They've sprayed them all their lives.
Right.
They've worked on them all their lives.
Yeah.
Dave Cook was an employee from the factory.
Dan's dad. Oh, was he?
He
was.
was.
He worked at that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't that brilliant? Graeme, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciated.
Cheers, Graeme. Thank you. All the best.
Well, I'm now with the second course leader, Mike Barkley. Now, Mike's well known in the MGB Register for being the tech expert, particularly on electronics. And that's what you've been doing today, Mike, isn't it?
Yep, we've been covering MGB headlight relays, but also covering general electrics on an MGB, just to show people things like bullet connectors are a major failure on cars, and really to say why you would want to put headlight relays in, and also using relays for other things on the MGB as well, like the heated rear screen. Just trying to take the stress out of, you're dealing with 40-year-old electrical switches, and taking the stress out of those switches so that you can preserve them and make the car, basically make the car better, really. That's it.
Yeah, and I mean, judging by the reaction of the people that were here, 25 odd people, they were all really well engaged with both sessions.
Yes.
So why is it important then for the MGB Register to sort of do these things?
Well, it's involvement, getting people from the register involved, and also value for money from the register, if you like, to show that we're just more than just holding car events sort of thing, runs and things like that. We've got a very good forum that people can go on. Based on that, Graeme and I sort of work out what we think people would like, and a technical day, if we can get Unit 70 to sponsor us, to run it for us, host us, as you see, let us use our workshop. We're happy to have a go at it. And it's really just to get people together, get them to come. It's as much a social event as it is trying to give them some advice and some help with various projects, etc.
I have to say, Mike, I mean, this has cost 10 quid a person. I mean, you don't even get a beer for that these days, do you? It's fantastic. We
only put a charge on it basically to give it a value, because otherwise, if we do it for free, people are going to say, yeah, I'll come, and they don't come.
Yeah.
We've learnt that lesson. We were talking to someone the other day who went to a similar thing at the MG Owners Club, and they were £100. 10 quid's not bad value for, and you get free croissants and a coffee. So there you go, chucked in.
Really good value. And run by enthusiasts. Which is,
we're trying to divulge information, basically, to help people.
Cars, that's the thing about the register, isn't it? We all drive these things.
Yes, and we're trying to be hands-on. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. But that's part of life. So
exactly.
That's why we're doing it. I was fiddling around under there trying to put 2 bolts on. My hands were so damn cold I couldn't get the nuts back on. So. But I tried to do it. We tried to do it in real time and a real approach to it. As you can sanitize things to a certain extent, but there's nothing like getting your fingers dirty and actually doing the thing. So, I try to do as much on the bench, because I'm aware we've got 25 people, and they can't see me fiddling around with bullet connectors and things.
That's right.
So we did as much on the bench. I tried to do a bit of electrical theory, because I think if you understand that, you're going to understand electrics as such.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, the MGB stuff.
I got feedback from that. A lot of people said they liked that.
Good.
Well, because they suddenly realised, you know, how much current's going through these switches and things, and the effects it can have. Sure. So by doing that on a practical basis, it demonstrated it. And I think people, you know, people, they've gone away with a handout. The handout is all the stuff that Graeme's done and all my stuff from my PowerPoint presentation. They've gone away with that. I think there's some useful information in there. I tend to use Graeme. You see, I'm electronically based, electrical based. It's the same old story, because you're so familiar with it. You think people know things, and they don't.
They don't.
So I got Graeme to look at what I'd done, and he said, "Oh, I like diagrams where I can physically see where a wire goes." So I did a diagram for the relay, sort of literally with the wires poking into it and that. And that's the sort of stuff they like.
You know, I must say that must, you know, the preparation for that must have taken you ages, Mike. So
it took me a while.
Thank you so much. Good. Really appreciated, and look forward to the next one.
Yeah, so do I. Cheers.
So there you go. That's the MGB Technical Day at Unit 70, just outside Abingdon. And what a worthwhile day. And as I said to Mike, I can't believe it's just 10 quid. If you get a chance to come to one of these things, you absolutely should, if you've got any interest in doing anything with your MGB. If you enjoyed the video, give it a share, give it a like, and consider subscribing to the channel, because all those sort of things really help YouTube get our content out to people. As always, many thanks for watching, and take care.